Being ignorant just because you don't know any better is understandable. But being willfully ignorant is the worst kind. Because you know there is an option, and there's a really good possibility that that other option is correct. But you choose not to believe it. You choose not to look at it. That's, LOL at truthers my ass.
I've seen things you people wouldn't believe. Attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. I watched sea beams glitter in the dark near the 10-house gate. All those moments will be lost in time, like tears in rain. Time to die.
Hello, everybody. This is Joel Blacker, Darkcity Astrologer. I'm joined here with Paul, Sparky, and Lee. How is everybody? Hello.
Hi, John. I'm
Hello.
good.
I'm sat here with bated breath, waiting to hear this report, man.
I'm sat here with onion breath.
Well, yeah. Guess where I've been?
Let's think.
What was it this weekend?
Yeah.
Oh, now that's a clue.
No, I just can't think where it might have been, John.
No. Enlighten us.
I've been at the Groovy Party down at the
Groovy
Grove.
Party.
Groovy Party.
Groovy Grove.
Yeah. That's me.
Well, one of us had to go.
You know, where all the speakers were on that mound.
Darby Knoll.
I was educated on it's a golf course, and they had to make like a nature reserve, and people were saying that it's the lizard mound for the little lizards. I didn't even know you had lizards in this country.
Yeah.
Yeah. I thought, don't you mean newts? No, lizards. And then the guy said, yeah, you got tiny scorpions as well. They live in chalk, and they're see-through. And I was like, I've never seen a scorpion in this country. But he said they were really tiny.
I have.
Just for this weekend.
I have. Dintin railway station.
Right.
Next to Glossop. Yeah. Seriously. Little tiny chaps in the walls. Oh.
So was there any big lizards there?
No, just
I mean,
little baby scorpions.
At the Groovy Grove.
Oh,
Yeah.
right, you've been down to see the lizard wizard and his dancing reptilians, Joel.
Oh, I have.
You have, right, you've been to the hamburgers.
I went and had a boogie.
Eee. No, we actually had it. We had a little whisper that you might actually have been captured on the main media stream, and that you actually had difficulty getting into the hamburgers meeting. Well, that's what we were told, Joel. That you actually had to develop yourself a disguise to get in, and this disguise involved you wearing a tinfoil hat. And talking Shakespeare. Now, are these allegations true, Joe, that you managed to deceive the BBC into giving you a free ride from the bus station because they thought you were a lunatic, when prior to that they wouldn't let you in? I mean, is this true?
No comment.
That'll be a confirmation. Tell us all about it.
Yeah, just keep it under my hat.
So go on, Joe. Fill us in, man. Fill us in on what on your experiences of the hamburger meeting, if you would, because like I say, I'm you've got me as well. I want to know. I want.
Oh, there's Alex Jones on the bullhorn. He's quite a character, isn't he? It's like he's possessed. I think he's possessed. Oh, I found out something about Alex Jones. He and Bill Hicks. You know, they look similar. Like, they do look quite similar, I thought, Bill Hicks and Alex Jones. Bill Hicks died in 94, and Bill Hicks died in 94, and Alex Jones found his, premiere to, media or whatever in 96. Bill Hicks's school friend and manager or co-worker, like they made Sacred Cow together, and like a little band they had in high school. And this same guy, Kevin Booth, he works with Alex Jones. I mean, Austin, they're both from Austin. I mean, maybe they're just, coincidence, but they do look similar, Alex Jones and Bill Hicks.
And 2 years is enough to put all that weight on. Definitely.
Yeah, they might even be related, I don't know.
Yeah, but can I just point out something here that Bill Hicks was funny?
Yeah.
Yeah.
But was it...
Is Alex supposed to be funny? I used to find him quite funny. Until I realised that he's actually supposed to be taking him seriously. And then, like I say, I do kind of see a lot of stuff that's been put out by these people. Is a lot of it is based in truth. But this 1,259,197, 4 million, there's a world conspiracy. It's just a little bit of, the maths are a bit difficult for me. I'm a bit simple, really, when it comes to these things. I mean, just have it simple.
That's why I always bring up Shakespeare. Like, Shakespeare's philosophy is really deep, and he says the world is a stage, and like Shakespeare was, in a nutshell, written by, very intelligent, sort of sophisticated Mason sort of royal types. They created it. Like government created Shakespeare, and with Bill Hicks, like I love him. I'm a huge fan, but like with the truth movement, I think a lot of the time, like, because they lie and stuff, and we're naive. I mean, with David Icke's information, like we can't. There's no empirical knowledge. Like, we have to take his word for it. And there's a lot of people like David Icke, like Project Camelot and stuff. Yeah, I went up to Kerry, the lady, like main lady of Project Camelot, and I asked her some questions about something, and she really flustered. But I guess I'll explain that later. I was talking about
Kerry Cassidy.
Yeah, Kerry Cassidy, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Kerry Cassidy was supposed to interview me on Revolution Radio regarding this, the illegal tipping that had gone on here, and how we caught them, and the land snatch and all that. And, when she actually heard the story, she never contacted me again. Oh. And then I was contacted by someone and says, oh, no, they'll only deal with stuff after the fact, never before it.
Oh.
Yeah, because it's current and it's ongoing. They only want to deal with stuff like You know, we've got a man here who was in Israel in 1957. You know, there's no current stuff. It's whistleblowers on shit we can't do anything about, really. Can we?
It was probably another reason that it wasn't channeled.
I asked her one question, and it was about, you know, at the beginning of every Project Camelot episode, you have a song about a jaguar, and it goes, "It's a jaguar, jaguar, jaguar," etc. I can't sing it as well as Kerry, but the footage, like, there's a video that goes along with the music, like the song, and it's footage of a cheetah walking through the grass, and I'm thinking, like, wait a minute, this is at the beginning of every single episode or like interview or whatever of Project Camelot. I asked her, like, why are you singing "It's a Jaguar" when it's obviously a cheetah? And then she gave, like, she was like, I made the song up years ago, and I was in Africa and I was filming a cheetah and I put them together, and just happened like that. But I thought, well, if these guys aren't idiots, they're giving you a heads up straight away, like subliminally, you know, like they're telling you, if you know what I mean.
I asked David. The only question I've actually ever asked David was some while ago is if that now if he still thought the world was going to end in 1997, and he just didn't respond to me.
That's beautiful.
I was just curious if he still thinks that's the case, you know. I mean, I don't think people change, and you know, and I haven't got an issue with that. I've fought a lot of things and made a lot of statements that have turned out to be total twaddle, you know, rubbish. But, you know, I'm just wondering whether or not he wants to withdraw the statement now.
And I think this is...
Because it's like, obviously, you know, David, can we just deal with it? Oh, no, let's just run along. Let's not deal with what's gone on. Let's just run along and pretend everything's all right, and we're going to do the same thing again. I just don't work with me, Joel. Don't work. I don't know. Maybe I'm broken.
I feel like this is the whole reason for the truth movement. I believe that the people that have created it are like geniuses, and it's like a mystical experiment to teach us to learn how, like, what truth is, and it's a evolutional thing. Like, you get to one truth, and then you find out, oh, there's another truth, you know, and then that it becomes a lie, you know, like, you didn't know better. Like, it's our culture to lie to children, you know, fat men can't go down chimneys. But we tell children, you know, the government, you know, everyone knows they lie.
Does the truth actually move?
I refer it to, like, the demiurge or the demagogue. You know, like, you go, oh, that's God. And then you have the free choice of going, no, it's not. And then you find something else and you go further. And it's like evolution, or you're forever continuing the search for truth. Instead of like, oh, this is the truth, you know, and then you find out that, no, wait, you might be wrong. But that means you have to put your ego aside. And I think that's the case with a lot of the things in the truth movement, because I've been chatting shit for years and then find out that, you know, where I got that information from, well, I didn't know better, because they were playing on my naivety, they were playing on my ignorance, or, you know.
The adults with the radio, Joel, in the early days, you know, that oh, well, you've got 22,000 people viewing, and it turned out to be like 12. You know, and you really believe it. You get, you get excited. You feel the excitement. God, there's thousands of people listening. You know, and yeah, I can see why they do it. It sells the products and it does all that. But the counter you know what the other side of it is when you've got like 6.1 million people and nobody responds, and you find out that it's only like 2,500 anyway. It's like, wow. So, you know, it has a negative effect as well. You will not often see it. It's what Bill Hicks would have called the merchandising demon.
And I was going to bring up Bill Hicks because, you know, Bill Hicks is the greatest teacher, and he did it with satire, he did it with comedy, which is the best way of absorbing information. He was the modern bard, and he really did fill us in with a huge amount of, like, well, he had a great eye of the world, and he told truth. He set the scene, if you know what I mean. And I love Bill Hicks. Everyone loves Bill Hicks because he does speak, you know, great truth, and he does it with, you know.
If you believe the legends of Darkcity, Joel, that you know, he can be heard chuckling in the corridors late at night.
But what I'm saying with Truth Movement, you know, I always try my hardest to be on the fence with anybody, like, because, well, what if he is? What if he isn't? You know, it's like the same with the Queen being a big fat lizard, you know. Oh, it makes sense if she is, because what she's doing is not human, but it doesn't matter if she is a lizard or not. She's still doing what she's doing. But, like, with Shakespeare saying the world is a stage, I feel the Masons, being like the game masters, they've given us like our heroes and villains, because they obviously are the villains, and they are playing, you know, they're in full control to a degree. I mean, when it comes to like bringing in stuff into the collective conscious through media and publications and books and stuff, and you know, they I've noticed, like, I could choose David Icke as an example, how they introduce things to get, like, their political agenda met. You know, recently we've had this witch hunt in the news. Like, all these newspapers are like, who's fucking children now? And, you know, David Icke's putting his hand up going, well, I've been saying it for 25 years. So a lot of people be like, hey, yeah, you know what? I'll listen to him because it sounds like he knows what he's on about.
Wasn't he working for the BBC then?
I feel like his whole entire career springboarded out of it. He was even into politics, wasn't he? And yeah, even his name, if like David Icke, you have Davidic. It might even be a pseudonym, you know? Davidic, as in like the Davidic bloodline, like divide and rule. Yeah, in my opinion, he is the modern day Shakespeare. Like, yeah. But, you know, instead of books or plays, I feel it's sophisticated itself to this kind of movement. I mean, it, like, in the 60s, you had the start of, like, these protests. But who's to say they weren't set up just like Occupy was by the government, but in the 60s, and all the characters involved, like all the heroes and villains, were all created by the same like game masters, the Masons, like the Beatles. You know, everyone's like singing. I forgot the song, the famous John Lennon song that everyone sings at protests, you know?
All we need is love.
John Lennon, is it Imagine?
I was thinking of though, but...
Is it Imagine?
Give peace a chance? Yeah.
Give peace a chance.
Just saying, yeah. What is that, Lee?
Give peace a chance.
Peace a chance.
But the Beatles are a creation of Tavistock. So, social engineering. Like, they did call it the British invasion. And what it did to America, bringing in, bringing all that crazy jazz. Really shook things up. Really changed culture forever.
Just on the David Icke bit, a lot of the stuff, I saw some clips recently, and he's telling people to dance at demonstrations, and so forth. And I just got the impression like he's kind of saying, look, this is what we should all do. Mm. We should all dance at demonstrations. But, wouldn't it be better to just serve our time in putting forward positive solution rather than going out dancing at a demonstration? Yeah. It don't seem to wash with me. It's like David's the first person who's kind of gone, oh yeah, look, we can all kind of raise our energies in a tribal dance and break up the... Yeah, of course we could, but you don't have to demonstrate to do it. That's waiting for a point of conflict to do it. We should be doing that on our daily lives as best we can.
Yeah.
Not waiting for the time to have, where we're given authority to, it's now all right to go down here and poke the fun at the rich people.
Yeah.
That's why I really buzzed off the guy running down the street with the camera chasing the BBC. It was the BBC. He was just having such a good time. He was really having a good time. And that's, if we could have such a good time without people telling us it's all right to, I think that'd be a good step, Joe. I really do. Rather than somebody stood up on that stage telling us that we should do something later. If we're confronted with this, then get prepared to do that. I don't know, man. It's just... Wouldn't it be just easier for us to get on with it?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I think he's got a lot of good stuff, David. He really has. I don't know if it's every time somebody gets put into that position, they go crazy. Maybe they just all go nuts. Because, Alex is singing to a different choir, and I've said this loads of times, but he's not allowed to come on here. We're all slaves, but he can't come on.
Yeah. I felt David Icke's presence at the whole Fringe. It was like David Icke festival, like what I was saying with the news coming out with the pedo shit, and we've been knowing about priests and all this shit for so long, but now they've made it an example. Like they've made example of people, bringing it into the collective conscious, and yeah, they're shoving it in our faces. And if people give a shit and are curious, yeah, they're gonna go see David Icke. And on Thursday, I was having breakfast and I was going through the Sun, the newspaper, and near the back was a double spread on David Icke, and most of the double spread was a giant photo of him, of his smiley face. And the article, in a nutshell, there were, sunshine was coming out his ass. Like, I've seen him in the Sun before, and they were just saying, yeah, he's a weirdo, David Icke, weirdo. But now they were promoting him. And because the Fringe Festival was set up by the media, they want to promote Icke, because I feel Icke is playing a giant role in the future with politics. UKIP was there that last weekend. They're anti-government, Icke people are anti-government. Parliament as it stands right now, with Lib Dems and Conservatives and shit, it's all a bit up in the air. and so's Europe, and as a whole, I feel it won't be too long until there's a mighty death in the monarchy. You know, someone high up will die, like, change in monarchy, change in power system. And I think David Icke has a lot to play with it. And, you know, these people that come up with these strategies, they're like chess masters. They think 8 moves ahead, or, you know, decades in advance. And they set up David Icke going, well, I've always been saying about Savile. And as people are having these pedos shoved in their faces, you know, weekly in the news, people are starting to question. People are starting to wanting justice, especially off the Catholic Church. And I think this is the whole reason for David Icke is to defragmentate the Catholic Church. This power shift, and once the Whore of Babylon, the Catholic Church goes, then they can bring in, you know, something to replace it, like totally destroy all power structures and replace it with something else. And it is biblical prophecy, and that's why I think David Icke is a pseudonym, because it's Davidic. And it's with the political I was going to say atmosphere. They oh, I've got a call.
No, yeah, it's Hazel's ringing. Hello, Hazel?
Sorry, I was trying to mute and I hung up on you.
Hello,
Okay.
Hazel.
Hi, Joel.
Hey, how's it going?
Good, how are you?
I'm well.
I'm hearing myself, sorry. I guess I have to turn this radio off a bit.
That was amazing on the word atmosphere, Joe.
What was I talking about? I totally forgot what I was talking about.
You were talking about the Davidic.
Yeah, and
Hang on a minute, Joel. Do you really think they'd put such a big clue in there as to have his name as Davidic?
why not?
I don't
Back
know.
in history, though, you know, if it does pan out the way I think it is going, and then you look back at the past, you know, at the history books, and you'll have names and stuff.
We did tell you so because that's his name, yeah?
He is a legend, you know. It is legendary what he's doing. And Shakespeare was a pseudonym, and that he's a legend. You know what Shakespeare did to change the world. But Shakespeare was a pseudonym.
Or
The spear shakers of Greece and Rome, Athena and Apollo, they were the Shakespeares. Shook the spears in the faces of ignorance. And that's why I think David Icke is like a modern day one, because he came out of the BBC. And in Elizabethan times, the creation of Shakespeare was, you know, at the same time, the creation of British intelligence with the symbol of British intelligence is the triangle with it's got like ER1 on it, and at the top it's got the 1. It looks like, you know, the pyramid with the I at the top, but this is all John D. This is all John D. I could tell you a funny story. I was on the train home going to London, back from the Fringe, and I was hanging out with this guy I met on the train. We went for a spliff, and funny enough, we had a spliff at the neurology hospital near Russell Square. I don't know, good a place as any. And we were chatting, you know, la la la. I was blabbering away. I was talking about John Dee. And then this guy he passed out, fell off the wall and hit his head. Like, he landed on his head and he passed out, and I had to like wake him up and like, hey, you okay? You know.
Did he then come up with a flux capacitor?
So what?
Did he then come up with a flux capacitor?
What's that?
Well, when you bang your head, you come up with a flux capacitor, don't you? Like in Back to the Future.
Maybe.
What was the first thing he said when he came round?
Did I fall asleep? Like, I'm pretty sure you did.
No, you whited out.
Blimey, he was, that was a really loud bang. Yeah.
I hope he's okay.
Yeah, well, yeah, he is. There's a little bruise on his cheek.
So, going back to the Burger Van Festival,
Oh, yeah.
I believe the BBC were there trying to make a comedy. Is that right?
That's true. And I'll fill you in. So on the Monday, people were taking photos and protesting at the cars driving past with their tinted windows. I didn't see anyone, to be honest. I saw someone with a newspaper up to their face, but I didn't see anyone. But the BBC camera crew came up. He was a young boy. Well, I say young. I mean, like 20s, in his 20s, dressed in a Baphomet costume. Some people said it was from Doctor Who. I'm not a big Doctor Who. I don't watch Doctor Who, but I'm really intrigued with Doctor Who and the bloody plot lines and stuff. This Baphomet costume was very well made. It did look like it just came out of the BBC vaults, like the costume vaults or whatever. Like, really high quality. Yeah, and they rocked up right at the end. And the camera crews were very serious about, getting the footage. I mean, most people there were really relaxed. It was a lovely atmosphere. It was like everyone was having... I loved it there. It was a real festival atmosphere. Everyone was really happy and stuff. This camera crew really stuck out because they looked really serious and very kind of, and people caught on to it, and there's video footage of Sam Williams from his fame of Truth That You Can Wake Up To. He was on the megaphone, and joshingly told them to leave, and everyone started joining in, even the police. And that was the beautiful thing, because the police didn't want them there. The police escorted them out. And when they got to the gates, everyone applauded, like, "Way!" I thought it's really symbolic. It's like...
Did they all actually strip off naked then? When the BBC had left? Did they do that? Because I I did actually say that we can all strip naked now. So, I mean, and of course it was in jest again. I've actually seen that video, Joel. It must have been great to be there, though. It's been great to. Go on, Bo, carry on, man, carry on. It's just I was being facetious.
I thought it was really Bob Marley, you know, chased the devil out of town. I thought it was a really beautiful moment, and it just shows that people are really waking up.
And I don't know the name. I did actually post the video to my Facebook, my disgrace book wall today. I posted it. I don't post lots of things. I normally always Darkcity stuff, really. But yeah, I posted his video when he chased the police, the BBC. With his camera. Oh, we're chasing them through the woods now. There they are. And as you say, he had a real good time doing it. A real good time doing what he was doing.
Sam's one of the best we got. Sam Williams.
Right.
He's one of the best informers out there. And he's definitely grassroots, and he's definitely just a very sensible, very sensitive, observant young man, and he's.
So they're not all. Everybody wasn't. I was wrong. I'm being made to eat my words here, because I actually thought that everybody who went there was going down there to just get involved in this sacred bloodlust festival of the hamburger family. So I suppose I've got to eat my words there and apologise to all them people, you know, that are still running around filming it rather than doing something about it. Exonerating, I suppose. A lot of people have been exonerated over this. Oh, well, yeah, okay, it's not a secret anymore. And it has been going on. But, you know, in fairness, yeah, Alex Jones was right, what he was saying. It did happen, and they did coerce it, and they have coerced wars, and they have inflated the prices of fuel and integrated currencies on a world fashion with the euro and stuff. Yeah, they've done it, but what we're going to do now? With all due respect, it's a bit late, isn't it? It's too late to be worrying about the wars they've done. What interests me is what fucking devious, fucking scheming bastard plans are they up to now? You know.
Well, I'm pretty sure they know what's coming with, you know, earth changes. Like, the weather's just turned into, I think things are going to change. I mean, the sun is just had its 6th birthday, and sunspot activity, you know, the earth is warming up naturally, and it's just shifting, and, you know, I think there's going to be a lot of geo change, and that to adapt to it, you know, is a huge task. And I think these people in power know this.
Really? Really? I don't. I really don't think that. I think they've probably spent the last 50, maybe 100 years trying to work it all out. And now they have meetings going like, have you worked it out yet? No. No. What are we going to do? We've tried everything. Nah, spraying the entire planet with cadmium doesn't seem to. Anybody else got any other ideas? It wouldn't surprise me that they tell us we've all got to start growing bananas and you know, whatever they're going to come out with next. Wouldn't surprise me.
But you know, their most recent idea, controlling it, is to make everyone think that they're in control.
Yeah, wonderful idea, eh?
That's a genius plan. When the truth is, it's only us.
You know, one of the little things I fall back onto when people kind of give you the grief and, you know, life's not going too well, I fall back onto the conspiracy. You know, I'm so pleased there's a conspiracy going on, you know. 'Cause, you know, if there isn't, we're fucked.
That's a good way of saying it.
We are, aren't we? Do you know what I mean? I mean, let's really hope that there has been, at least been in the past, agents of whatever conspiring to coerce us into these dodgy situations of contracting with this, that and the other, and other people suffering because we're all in the pursuit of profit. Which profit? The religious one or the financial one? You know, I think they become one and the same in the modern day time. So yeah, bro, I'm dubious, you know. I'm dubious. Whether or not it is just a circus. It is just sheerly a media circus now. That's all it is. Like you say, you can come here actually if you want, and you can film cars going up and down the street. You know, we'll hold newspapers up to the window. You know, I mean, that's it, isn't it? You just drive a few people in, give them a few meals, nice stay in a hotel for a couple of nights. That's their job. That's what they do. That's their job. And I suppose, what would all those other people do? What would Alex Jones do now? You know, if they all come forward and they accept the Darkcity unconditional surrender. And, hello? Yes, we are the world's leaders and we've kind of lost it. Can you get everybody at Darkcity to help us out? What are they going to do? You know, what are they going to do? What would they do for a job? You know, what's Alex going to do if they're into conspiracy?
Well, with, you know, we saw Occupy, that they allowed that to happen. That was people that really gave a shit getting together and networking. They're promoting us to get together. They want us to get together and to see if we can. And with that Fringe Festival that just happened, that was the same thing. They are encouraging us to get together and network and share ideas and yeah.
Do you think there's a possibility they might actually want us to rise and create a new coherent humanity?
Like they've kind of worked out, if the divergent thinkers don't help them out, then they're fucked.
Yeah.
With
the rich elite might have worked out what we've worked out.
Don't tell anyone.
The nature of
it's supposed to be a secret.
I think with the nature of corruption, by its own self-nature, it will destroy itself.
Oh my God, we've got 13. Oh, it's all right. We had 13 people live on all the servers then. That was a bit weird when you said that.
Have we got any from Westminster tonight?
Oh, I haven't looked at the IPs. I was looking directly at the servers, and we've got a new...
IPs?
Strange. Oh, yeah.
You can find out where they're from.
No, only when people tell me they're going to tune in, and then they tell me they've been tuned in, and I know they haven't. So why don't you know?
Oh, right.
It's like, people do what they do on the Darkcity, not because there's any hierarchy, but because they can do what they said they could do. If they do what they said they could do, then they can do it. But if they don't do what they said they were going to do, then they haven't done it. It's pretty simple, really.
A lot more simple, isn't it?
But it seems to be causing a lot of confusion. A lot of confusion. So yeah, I reckon if we can... It's about the word as well, you know, from the legal side of things. Dave Matthews, and if you're listening, Dave, don't forget you're supposed to be coming to Ashton tomorrow. Anyway, we'll talk about that later. But from the legal side of it again, it seems to be the same. You know, it's like, hang on a minute. That world of stage, all the worlds of stage, it seems to be like they play out the same dramas in different settings.
Mm.
They change the setting and they play out the drama again. And the people in the audience don't know they're in the audience. They don't know they're in the audience.
And everyone thinks it's new.
This is why I bring up Charlie Skelton's work, because in the 90s, did you remember Human Zoo? It was a program where it's like Watch Out Beadle's about. They used to do psychological experiments on the public and film it like Charlie Skelton is like wearing a. He's young in this. He's rather young. He's from Oxford. He went to Oxford Uni. Yeah, so he's in Human Zoo, the program. He's dressed up as.
Is that where they have fags? Is that Cambridge where you get a younger fag?
I think.
Or is it at Oxford you get a fag?
Eton coined it.
Excuse me.
Maybe.
I really should know these things, shouldn't I?
I was just thinking. I lost my thread.
Alright, you have to excuse me, I'm good at that, Joe. You were speaking of a gentleman, weren't you?
Yeah, he was dressed up as a policeman, sort of train driver, kind of like authoritative looking type, and telling people to go, oh, excuse me, can you walk around the apple, please? And then this like little lady just goes, okay, and she walks around the apple. And yeah, just silly stuff like that. And he did Space Cadets, where he made people believe that they were going out into outer space, but really it was just a big.
Oh yeah, I saw that one, Joe.
So when I was with that Sam Williams was in the pub. We found Charlie Skelton doing his Guardian article, and Sam asked him some very sensible questions, but Charlie Skelton reply was quite unsavoury, and
I know your mum's listening, Joel, so did he say fuck off?
No, he told him that he had the most annoying face, and that he should film himself and watch it. Which is hilarious, because if he knew who he was, yeah. He does that a lot. He does it really, yeah. Yeah, and then I brought up, like, your acting. I'd like to congratulate you on your performance in Human Zoo. And he went, oh, wow, no one's ever said that before. Oh, thank you. That's such an old reference. And then someone said, oh, what's Human Zoo? And he said, oh, some trick show. I said, well, it's psychological experiments in the public, and you filmed it. Very much like what's happening at the Fringe Festival.
Was he still smiling then, Joe?
Nah, he didn't say anything to that, I don't think. But he's the connection. He's done work with Charlie Brooker. He's done script work for Have I Got News for You. He's done a porno movie and a book about the porno movie. He's also... Well, this is the connection to the comedians. Like I've been saying on previous shows about Chris Morris, Amano Iannucci, Charlie Brooker, loads of these comedians, they're all from like Oxford and Cambridge. It's just the same as like the Shakespeare, Oxford and Cambridge wits who created Shakespeare. But the people in today that are behind all this mock news, and, you know, Alex Jones and David Icke, are comedians.
I thought they had to be funny. But I get it. If you don't take them seriously, they are funny. It's like what was he called? The hard man of comedy. You know, he was very dry. Yeah. Jack D. He did that, didn't he? That was his kind of angle. So yeah. I suppose it's a way they use fear, I suppose, rather than laughter.
I've always thought it as with TV and films, we experience so much more watching these dramas and watching programs quicker. You know, we evolve emotionally, intellectually, and it quickens our growth. And if these, well, I studied quite a bit of theosophy and noticed that, you know, like the Fabian Society and these big think tanks were like, you know, they were also from the theosophy. I mean, theosophy ended up very Masonic, you know. These guys are very clever, you know, they're wizards. They're very intelligent. I was repeating myself a lot at the Fringe, saying, "Oh yeah, they're treating us like mugs. These bloody rich guys, you know, getting us to pay taxes and stuff. They're mugging us off." And me, I know full well, seeing their symbolism and seeing, yeah, they give it away. They're very much into magic, and they always have been. They're wizards, and we're muggles. And they've given us a little game. And it's all about spells, and it's all about, you know, playing words, and it's just a fun game.
But it all comes back down to we're living on a free will planet, and we have the free will to pay tax if we want to. There is a way not to pay tax. I don't pay any income tax anymore. I put myself below the tax bracket. I've chosen to do that. So it's free will.
Yeah.
Free will.
Yeah. Yeah. The Babylon.
I personally don't. I feel like you should be able to earn as much money as you like and pay tax to people who aren't murdering, cheating, thieving scum.
Yeah.
Personally.
The way I see it is if you choose to earn more than you need, then part of it is going to go towards cheating, murdering scum.
Yeah, well, that's my issue, man. I mean, you're a really creative guy, man. You could do loads. You know, I know that. And you can do more because you'd have to pay more. You see what I mean? You know, it's like, that's ridiculous. It's because you wouldn't have a problem paying millions, billions of dollars of squoogles or whatever we're doing it in by then. You know, if they weren't lying, cheating, thieving, killing, murdering, paedophile scum. You know, it's like,
there is a way for me to produce all this stuff, and that's just free. Just do it for the fun of it and the enjoyment of it, and just take enough for myself to live on comfortably, and not extravagantly. As soon as you have extravagance, then you've got to give part of it away to the dark side of the balance.
If it weren't for the government, I'd be a multi-millionaire. Still in the government, that's stopping me doing it. So I'm going to move out of the country.
But what good is it going to be being a multi-millionaire when that just buffers you from all emotions?
It doesn't.
Oh, I think it would. In my opinion, I think it would. I think with masses of money, it's not going to do you any good at all. You don't know who your friends are.
Oh, you don't know who your friends are anyway.
Well, when you're on your arse, you certainly do.
Well, you are your best friend. Hey, you've got us here now, Joe, with only a couple of minutes left. Me and Chris going down a rabbit hole, a sparky hole. Huh? But yeah, you are your own best friend, are you not? All the time.
Yeah.
You know, Joel's little story here with us, you know, with Darkcity, you know, I mean, now he's going out and plugging people. Oi, you! I'm Jay Blacker. I've got a shiny hat. Look at me. You know, and that's it. That's what I look at, the stories we're writing here. Our little characters, who are we becoming and what we're doing, you know? Who are these so-called elite where? Elite where? You can't get in here. They've tried.
We are the elite.
And all they've got to do is kind of, you know, Skype or ring in. They can't get on here. You know, they can't. Well, David still can, but he has to give us 10 grand. You know, for an hour.
Wasn't Danny Shine having a show?
Danny was. Well, Danny was. I don't know. Danny's really. He's freestyle, Danny. Isn't he? You know, he's there in the moment. So yeah, I've done a couple of good things with Danny, and I'm going to do some more things with him. But Danny's not really kind of got the life he can commit a regular slot. But yes, we are going to do more things. We had a real laugh in doing what we've done with the telephones, and I've been requested to do some more stuff on the telephones. And Danny's a wizard on the telephone. And yes. The answer is yes, we're going to do more. But as far as the show's concerned, there's nothing. There was on the cards, but Danny's kind of not, like I say, got that kind of life. Every time I say, "Are you doing something?" he goes, "Oh yeah, that'll be great." And then next time I see him, I say, "Are you doing something, Dan?" "Oh yeah, that'd be great." Yeah, he's pretty chaotic. He's a great guy though. And I learnt a lot from Danny. I learnt a hell of a lot from Danny Shine. Anyway, you're out of time, Joel. Or we've nicked your last bit of time. Sarah's on next. Say goodbye, Joel. You've got 30 seconds.
Tune in next time. Bye, everybody.
Thanks, Joel.
Yeah, thanks, Joel, man. Great show, man.
This is a public health announcement. Cannabis cures cancer.
Things on Darkcity Radio. Lots of things.
My world is crashing down and there's nobody else around to talk to, so I cry myself to sleep. Dreaming of pure happiness, I wake up in my loneliness. If only things were like they used to be. Live my life my own way, both bad and good from yesterday are making me the man I'm gonna be. So I keep shining on, 'cause I will not be proven wrong. Bide your time and baby you will see. Cloudy skies are coming, but the silver lining makes it worthwhile. If you're in the darkest tunnel, run through till you see the light. And now that you are coming strong, there's no need to pretend, 'cause it'll all be alright in the end. I live inside my head because nobody understands the dream that makes me do the things I do. Put down at every turn, just getting by on what I earn. No guarantees this plan will even work. Live my life day to day, getting betrayed is the price I pay for overtaking people I once chased. So I'll keep fighting on, not being held back anymore. I'm closer than I've ever been before. So I say, cloudy skies are coming, but the silver lining makes it worthwhile. If I'm in the darkest tunnel, run through till I see the light. Now that I am coming strong, there's no need to pretend, 'cause it'll all be alright in the end. And I know that I'm hurting, and there's nothing you can do. And I know I've been searching for a reason to be true. Cloudy skies are coming, but